everyone, and welcome to our live show tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'll give you all a little bit of time to trickle in. I can see you adding yourselves to the live. It always takes us a little bit of time to tag everyone. You know, you're a lot of people. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight, I am sitting down with Caitlin Hogan so that she can tell you what her experience has been like in the Peace of Mind Parenting Program. Caitlin has been with us for over a year now, actually, and she has loved her experience so much that she now even participates in the lives and all of these so that she can tell you about her experience and tell you firsthand how it's been for her and how important it has been for her to be in the program. So without further ado, let's welcome her in.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. So thank you for coming and sitting down with us to talk tonight about your experience within the Peace of Mind Parenting Program. Maybe you can start by telling us what actually brought you to BeBaby in the first place.
Definitely. So, when my son was just born, I kind of knew what I was expecting, considering he was my second. So I knew that I was going to go through the cluster feeding. I was going to go through the sleepless nights. And when he became 3 months old, I felt like he was showing signs of the 4-month regression. So I just figured, you know what, I'm going to nip it in the butt this time. I'm not going to wait as long as I had done with my first. And what can I do now to make things better for the future? With my first, I had waited a really long time. Everyone kept telling me, when your child's ready, your child will sleep. When your child's ready, your child will sleep. So I was just, wait it out. All the mom groups would tell me the same thing. But I just figured, is this what it is? Being a mom, being a parent, being sleep deprived, this is what I signed up for? So when my daughter was 6 months old, I reached out to a sleep consultant because at that point I didn't know about BeBaby. So I reached out to a sleep consultant and I was at a point of no return. I was exhausted. I wasn't a good person. When I don't sleep, I'm not the best person I can be. So I reached out to one and I just figured, okay, I'll do it. And we didn't have the money necessarily. We didn't. And my husband and I made it work because at that point I was not thriving. I was on some kind of weird survival mode. And often I felt like I was on autopilot, which actually scared me. And so when she told me about this, her program that she was offering, I figured, okay, we'll do it. So be it. We had paid a very large sum of money, and I only got a week and a half, 2 weeks worth of help, so to say. No one explained to me at that point that sleep is progressive, that sleep changes, that sleep is not something that's granted, so to say. It's something that changes all the time, So I figured, but I didn't know that. So when I signed up with her and I paid the large amount, what I got was an Excel sheet. That's how we communicated. So we communicated via Excel. I would add my comments, she would add hers. There was never really any vocal other than the first call. The document that I had received was obviously a PDF printout, which if I go and find it, I'm pretty sure I will. So flash forward when it came time to have my second, and my first and my second are only 17 months apart. So, I got pregnant pretty much when my daughter was 9 months, which is exactly what we wanted. But when it came time, I was like, okay, no, I'm not waiting 6 months. I'm not waiting for that to happen. I want to skip this 4-month regression. And that's when I reached out to you. So we spoke, and I remember I was literally at IKEA. And I took the phone call and I was like, I need help. I want to forget about this 4-month regression. What can we do? And that's when you were like, well, one, it's actually not a regression. That's a misnomer. It's actually a permanent change in their sleep cycle. So let's not wait for when Liam turns 4 months. Let's get this done now. He's 3.5 months. Let's put in some healthy sleep habits. You have a good routine, but things can be tweaked to make it even better. So that's exactly when I reached out to you. Liam was 3 months, and we started at that point to just make sure that I don't go through the same path that I had gone through. And the program that you were offering at that point was just too good to be true. I had gone home that evening and I'm like, okay, she's going to help me with my breastfeeding issues. She's going to help me with my sleep issues with my son. Not only that, but I can tell her about my daughter's sleep issues, because don't forget, my daughter at that point is 18 months or going on 2 years old. I'm going through a whole nother ball game of regressions at this point. You know, my good sleeper is now going through some regression. She's now waking up earlier. She's now not wanting to nap. And what am I doing? Should I cap her naps? Should I remove all naps? Should I push her bedtime later? No, I don't want that. What am I doing? So I got everything in one spot. So I can tell you about how my daughter's doing. I can tell you about how my son's doing. I can tell you that breastfeeding is not going well. We figured out together, thankfully, that my son has reflux issues. You were able to help me and get me into the right path to go and see specialists and get my son on medication to help with the reflux. I mean, it was a no-brainer. And we didn't necessarily have the money at that point either. But we figured, you know what? It's tax deductible, so let's put it on our taxes. So come tax time right now, we're putting it on our taxes. We're using the child allocation money towards it. And we spoke to our in-laws, which is my in-laws, so it's his parents. And instead of giving us money for things that we don't necessarily need, and come Christmas time and our birthdays, it's very difficult now because we just don't know what we want and what we need. Well, they help us pay for a portion of the program because we need a village and we don't have one. And as much as they think that they're our village, well, they're not here when a time comes that we actually need them. So for us, it's just the best way that I can get support. And it's the best investment that I've made for not only my family, but for my relationship. Because when I'm sleep deprived and I'm not doing well, unfortunately, my marriage isn't either.
No, of course not. Of course not. And can you speak about, so the goals that you had coming in, you had some breastfeeding issues, your daughter had sleep issues, your son had sleep issues.
Mm-hmm.
How did you achieve all of your goals? And was it like a quick and easy turnaround? Did it take long for you to achieve your goals?
So I reached out to you and we spoke. And you were already very understanding from the get-go, because at that point when we spoke, Miko wasn't born yet. So you were pregnant with your third. You already had the 2 under 2. So you knew what I was going through with 2 under 2. You were very compassionate from the beginning. You know, you were able to understand what my needs were, understand where I was coming from. So from the get-go, it was very clear of where we were going. It was, okay, we're going to take the necessary steps. My plan is not a PDF print off. It's not a, here's the plan, read it and do it. I'm here for you. So when I signed up with you and we had our evaluation, and then after that, my customized plan was made. And when I say customized, it's customized for what my needs are, right? So my needs as a parent, what I want as a parent. So my routine involves a bath. My routine involves the sleep sack. I'm lucky my daughter is still in her crib at 2.5, but guys, we're transitioning out of that. Sam and I, baby steps. She's still in the sleep sack. I know, but she doesn't argue against these things. It could be completely different though, and I'm aware of that. But we went with what my needs were, what my family needs were. And at that point, my husband was working so many evenings and weekends that I was often alone. So I had to figure out a way of, how am I going to balance being a mom and initially being outnumbered most evenings and most weekends? I needed a routine. I needed my kids to nap and mommy needed to nap. And then, well, what happened? Mommy got pregnant again. So then it's 3 under 3. Then it's a whole nother ball game. So then I definitely needed to make sure that I was sleeping, because now I have a whole nother life to think about inside of me, right? So it's just the minute that we spoke, it was instant. It was instant for me. We had that connection. We had that chemistry. You had the understanding of what my needs were. We had the eval. And then a couple of days later, not even joking, I had my plan. We took the time to sit down together to really understand what the plan was, how to implement it for my son, who at that point, you know, he was sleeping with us. He was sleeping on us. I had kind of not the best habits from the get-go, and we were able to turn that around. Now my kids are great sleepers, and when it comes time, when there's a little hiccup, well, I have access to you with the instant messaging. I have access to, you know, Sam, I'm going to be probably going through potty training. What do I do? Well, I have these modules and these live events that I can reach out to, and, you know, where do I start? Do I buy a book? Do I leave her in diapers? Do I not? Do I buy a potty? There's so many questions, and I feel like it's hard because you want to get the information, but there's so many places where you can get the information from. So for me, the fact that it's all in a safe place where there's no judgment, where I can get the information, I have access to doctors, I have access to pharmacists, I have access to psychologists. This week I used the psychologist. I did. And, you know, was it easy? Yes. Was it quick? Yes. Do I feel better after using the services? Yes. Was it complicated? No. And you know why? Because I didn't have to go on to the psychology, the Ordre de Psychologiste or whatever in Quebec. I didn't have to go through that. I know that there is exactly what I was looking for in the group. So I was able to utilize all that.
And you were able to tell me what was going on, and I said, okay, I think that this would be beneficial, and we set up the appointment, you know.
Exactly.
Like that, so.
You know, it could have been completely different, but the fact that I have a nurse on hand, which is you know, I can ask you like, hey, apparently there's this going around at daycare. What would you do? What would you not do? You know, how can I protect myself, you know, 2 weeks out or 2 weeks-ish out from my labor and delivery? You know, what can I do with my family? How can I help my family? How can we get my daughter, you know, to be aware as much as she can be aware at almost 3 that there's going to be a new baby. There's a lot. There's a lot of questions and concerns. And honestly, just like, you know, parenthood changes you, but it's constantly changing, right? You know, you one day you have a newborn, and then they're a toddler, and then there's just that whole stage of toddlerhood that is completely a tornado from one day to the next, or like it is. And then you have another kid, and then you have another kid. And well, maybe that's just a side effect of Sam, but you know, and the worst, and the, you know, no, it's not even that. The best part is that I'm pregnant with baby 3. I'm doing 2-ish weeks, let's say. And we're talking about baby 4. And why are we talking about baby 4? Because we have the support that we have on hand. If we didn't, I don't think that we'd be at this point. I mean, we love our kids. We love them more than anything in the entire world. But having kids is a big responsibility, and it takes a lot. And there's no shame in admitting that. There's no shame in admitting that you need a village. Everyone says it. But when the time comes that you're looking for that village,
they're nowhere to be found.
I didn't find it. So when you offered me a village, literally a village, why would I refuse it? Why would I refuse being able to talk to a pharmacist? I mean, it's not even about my kids. I can talk to the pharmacist about me.
Guys, the Facebook group where we host our private members, where Caitlin is literally called the BeBaby Membership Village. Like, literally.
I mean, it's just, for us, the way we looked at it, it's an investment. It's an investment into our path of being the best parents that we can be, because that's what we want. We want to be able to offer our kids the best parents that they deserve. And so for me, it was about making sure that they're getting sleep. Why? Because I know how important sleep is. So sleep is not only important for their development, but it's also important on, you know, nutritional factors that we've already spoken about. It's important on so many different levels. It's important for even just their immune system, for my immune system. And if my kids are sleeping, well, you know what? Mommy and daddy are sleeping. And if they're sleeping and they're in bed at a reasonable time, like my daughter is right now, well, that gives my husband and I time for us.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
for us, at this point, it's non-negotiable, our time together. We make date nights, we're able to watch movies, we're able to watch shows, we're able just to take it easy. We apparently make more babies. I mean, guys, I mean, what more? I just I love it so much that when I got the opportunity to just help you occasionally, well, that turned into me being the executive assistant I am today. There's so much I can say. It's just I'm eternally grateful for your program. And I think that everyone should have it. It's not even, honestly, it shouldn't even be a negotiation. It shouldn't even be a hesitation. It should be, you know what? This is a smart thing to do. Let's invest in us. Let's invest in me as a mother, as a parent, as a father, as parents, because it's the best thing that you can do for your children. It's the best thing that you can do for you. And there's never one moment that I've ever regretted it. You know, I have the chance to speak with a nurse. I have the chance to speak to pharmacists or psychologists or doctors. I had the chance to learn more about what it is a midwife and make the choice that I made this time around to not go give birth in a hospital, to not give birth with obstetricians, to educate myself on what it is childbirth, because although I've gone through it twice, apparently there's definitely not enough knowledge going around because I was not knowledgeable whatsoever. And now I'm going into it feeling strong, feeling confident in what my body was made to do. And I'm doing it with midwives, all natural. So it's just, I feel like every time something happens, whether it's, you know, childbirth or whether it's regression or whether it's the fact that my daughter probably senses that daylight savings is coming, you've been there. When my son was sick, you were there. When we thought that it might have been reflux, when my gut feeling was telling me that, you were able to confirm, oh goodness, yes, it is. That is a lot of vomit. That is not normal. You know, we tried things. Let's cut the milk. Let's cut the protein. Let's cut this. It's not working. Okay, well, look, we have the proof. Go to your doctor or I'll call your doctor for you. Like at this point, it's not normal, you know? So it's just been easy. That's it. It's just been easy. It's been the easiest decision we've ever made. And if I would redo it, I would have redone it a lot earlier and I would have done it with Florence. Because I still feel like I'm paying the price in a certain sense of the fact that I chose a 2-week method, thinking that, oh yeah, 2-week method, it'll change everything. No, sleep is progressive. And that's what I've learned. I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn it the hard way by myself, by pretty much becoming sleep deprived all over again, by trying to do little tips and tricks here, by trying to, oh, you know, should I cap naps? Should I follow wake windows? What should I do?
That's the thing. Sometimes people come to us for sleep issues and they'll say, you know, well, can I just take, you know, 1 or 3 months to get my sleep problems resolved? And what you know from experience, because you've been down this rabbit hole before you came to BeBaby, yeah, sure, we can resolve a lot of sleep issues in a few days. But if you want the good sleep to stay, you also have to stay. You have to keep getting that support. And as you saw with your son, sometimes sleep is not just sleep. In his case, he did have severe reflux. There was other issues that were working around that were making it difficult. So it was important that the person that you were working with was not just an expert on sleep, but an expert on breastfeeding and you know, health in general. And like you said, the pharmacist just tonight, the pharmacy was actually closed at 4 on Friday nights. It closes early. And I had a member whose child was sick and she needed to get something from our online pharmacist, you know, onlinepharma.ca. And I told him, and he literally called her at home to provide the service that she needed. So we always, you know, make sure that we offer the very best for our members. We never want you to feel alone because, well, I'm a mom too, right? So I get it when you're worried and you need support, you need to have it, right away.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone who's watching right now, who is considering the program, is on the fence?
I would say, honestly speaking, don't hesitate. Don't second guess yourself. This is the best investment that you can do for you. So I know that mom guilt is strong. I know it. I have it. I lived through it. But this program changed my life. It changed my life. It made my family stronger. And not only that, but we're thriving. We're not on survival mode. We're not on autopilot. We're able to get things done. Maybe not as much as we would because of COVID. Fine, so be it. But we're having date nights at home. We're having movie nights. We're enjoying our alone time. It's just, and the thing is that it's not even just about your kid. It can be about you too. It can be about you and your husband. Oh, your husband's doing Sam, he's a little unwell. What do you think? No. Okay, well, let's see. It's just, it's for your family. It's think of it as, you know what? Don't wait for the fire to be there to go and get your extinguisher, right? You probably have an extinguisher at home. And if you don't, well, maybe we should, but you have those fire detectors, right? You have fire alarms or fire detectors in your house. Why? Because you're preventing something, right? If something were to happen, you have something to help you, right? Something to safeguard you, to make sure that you're safe. This is the same thing, guys. The program is there to safeguard you, to safeguard your relationship, to safeguard your family. Because the reality is that having a baby, whether it's your first, your second, your seventh, whatever it is, changes you. The minute that you welcome the baby into the world, you become this new person. Whether it's your first, your second, your seventh, whatever it is, you become a new person, which is great. But parenting is hard. And there's not one baby that's the same.
No, exactly.
Just like there's not one pregnancy that's the same, right? You might have had no symptoms with your first, and then your second, you have a bunch of nausea, right? There's not one situation that's the same. And that's what I've learned. And for me, my only regret is not finding BeBaby earlier. It's not connecting with Sam earlier. Sam and I, we have a relationship as clients, but we also have a relationship as friends. And that's something that we built. But the thing is that she's been there every step of the way. Yeah. I think Sam, if I'm not mistaken, Sam was one of the first people that I was like, oh my God, baby 3 is here. Can I actually do this? Like this whole 3 under 3 thing? And I'm asking the woman who literally just gave birth to her.
Yes.
At home, alone, unassisted. Guys.
Yeah. I had just had Miko actually.
Literally. I was like, Sam, it's pink. Like it's happening. Like, can I do this? Can I actually go through this again? In the sense of, can I birth another child? Knowing that like with Leon, it wasn't the birth that I had planned. No. Can I do this again? Can I be a mom of 3? Because yes, there are occasions when I'm alone. But the thing is that through every change that's happened in the last almost 3 years, I wish that Sam would have been there. I wish that she would have been there from the get-go with Florence. I wish that I wouldn't have waited 6 months to start doing anything with Florence. Mm-hmm. And I wish that instead of going with a 2-week program, that I would have gone with a long program, because
that costs for very little support, and the interaction through the Excel.
There was no human interaction. If I wanted to speak to a spreadsheet, I think I would change jobs, but that's not what I want to do. It's not the same. It's not the same game. It's not the same thing. You have instant messaging. I have these one-on-one consults with you, and now our one-on-one consults are focused on my, at the beginning it was more of my pregnancy, and now we're going towards the end, and we're going to be focusing on the first 48 hours. How can I make the newborn stage a little bit easier? And we're focusing on all of that. Some of my calls with you are more like, well, how are the kids doing? Are they doing well? Or do you have any concerns? So it's just, not only do I get instant messaging, I get phone calls. I mean, I get these one-on-one consults with you. I have access to resident moms who have 11 kids. 11. So I'm freaking out over baby 3, but they have 11, you know? I mean, come on. I have access to the pharmacist. I have access to psychologists, which I use this week. You know, I was having a hard time. I spoke to Sam about it. Look, this is what I'm going through. What can I do? How can your village help me? And it was almost instant that I got an answer from you and that you connected me with one of the psychologists and that I was able to book with her accordingly.
And the best ones too, because we're very careful about the professionals that we provide you within the platform. You know, I know every single one of them, and they are the very best. They are the kindest people with giant hearts. I mean, the 2 psychologists we have are just, you know, they're amazing people. And our 2 doctors are just hilarious. I mean, you've seen the introduction of them dancing. Our pharmacist is just like a gem. Like, he just serves and serves and serves and serves nonstop. Our midwife is obviously Carla. You don't really get any better than Carla when it comes to midwife. She was my own midwife. Okay, she's that good. So that's why I recommend her to you guys, because she's the best. And then we have Maria, who is an amazing osteopath that I've sent many of our members to as well. And you're expecting baby 3, so you're not a new mom anymore. I mean, you've been down this road twice. And so some people might say, well, why would you? Because you just finished your first year with us and you have re-registered for your next year. You're not a first-time mom anymore. And some people would say, well, don't you know everything you need to know about sleep and breastfeeding and all these things? So why do you feel that it's important for you to keep coming back year after year?
For me, I don't see myself leaving. I don't see myself leaving because I have the support literally at the click of a button. It's right there. So there's a safety net to that, right? I feel secure. I feel safe. I feel like someone has literally taken me under their wing and they care about me. And I know that if I don't write to you after a couple of days, you tend to write to me and go, hey, just checking in. You good? Because, you know, just how are you doing? So for me, it's not even about, I feel like I waited too long. I waited for the fire to be there to extinguish it.
Yeah.
Now I'm hoping that a fire never comes and I'm just preventing it. So I'm taking in everything that I can and being preventative, because being preventative is being prepared. And for me, being prepared is being the best person I can be. I can't control everything. I can't control how well my daughter will sleep tonight. I can't control how well I'll sleep tonight. I can't control how my birth will go. But the fact that I'm gaining all of this knowledge is helping me be prepared. There is so much knowledge, and just even in the library, because you give so much content weekly. You know, I can recommend, I can request, not even recommend. I can request, Sam, I want information on how to do baby-led weaning. And I've done it before.
Yeah.
You know, I've done it twice. But yet it's so far away, so close, but yet so far away. And things are so different. You know, my daughter didn't have reflux. My son did. Yeah. Will baby 3? I don't know.
Well, baby 3 is going to be different because you're going to be with us from the start time around.
I feel
better from the start.
I feel safer. I definitely feel less anxious. And for someone who, like me, has anxiety, well, the way that I can diminish my anxiety is controlling. And so although I can't control everything, what I can control, I will.
So how well do your kids sleep now?
I would have to say not very well. But then again, though, I have to say that I'm 37 weeks pregnant. So I'm not
saying how you're sleeping. I said how your kids are sleeping right now.
Like babies.
Yeah, how you're sleeping. Yeah, 3rd trimester insomnia is just, I know for me, I always get 3rd trimester insomnia, and I always can't wait to give birth.
Oh, I'm at that point.
Then you breastfeed, and that breastfeeding knocks you out, and You sleep amazing.
Oh, yeah. I'm in that part where it's you either have to get up to pee all the time, and then you get up to pee and then you're hungry, but then you don't go eat, so then you're nauseous. Yeah.
You're almost there. You're almost there. And you're in the program, you know, from the very start. You've been here for a year, but this time you're here from the very, very start.
I'm here from literally the minute I give birth. And I don't know the gender. We have no idea. We have no idea what we're expecting. But, you know, even my husband feels safe. And he's not, you know, you guys have to understand, my husband and I are complete opposites. He is probably the guy that'll be like, oh, it's not a big deal. Our house is on fire. And I'm the one freaking out going, okay, let's call our insurances. Let's figure this out. Well, you know what? I feel like for me, this program is an insurance, right? You know, you pay for insurances every month, right? I mean, you pay for house insurance, you pay for car insurance, you pay for life insurance. Is there any more? I'm not sure. But anyways, those are generally the main ones, right? And you pay for them hoping to probably, you know, you don't want to call them, right? But the thing is that it's not the same metaphor. But the thing is, for me, I'm paying for a program that I use. I actually use it.
That's the thing, eh? People tell me, what if I don't need it? And I explain to them, you will need it. You will need it. I can assure you, you will need it. The difference is if you register now, the minute you need us, we'll be there. Whereas, you know, delays and all of this stuff, right? So the minute that you need it, it's there. And I think Tom is a big BeBaby fan now, if I'm not mistaken.
Goodness, yes. He saw our life completely change. You know, we were going to sleeping not very well and sleeping with my daughter to having our own bed, to having evenings, to, you know, discussing baby 4 and baby 3 is still cooking. I mean, you name it. We had to talk to you the other day about a situation that's having a daycare. Like, do we get meds? Do we not get meds? Can I take the meds because of you know, you were there. It's like, I don't have to try to run around, or I don't have to call 811 and wait for 17 hours on the phone for someone to answer me. You know, it's just, everything is literally at the click of a button. So even for him, if he wants to consult a psychologist, he can. If he needs to order medication, well, we can order it through online pharma. I mean, and by we, it will probably be me. But I mean, the reality is that it's there for him.
Yeah.
If he has questions about our child's sleep habits, you know, we were questioning, you know, should we start thinking about removing Flo's nap? And that's when you went, whoa. No, let's not. Let's just, you know, let's look at this again. We're not alone. And that's what's the best thing. He loves it. And he loves it. And the fact that now I'm part of it as an employee, he even loves it even more. And but the main thing is that my first priority is me as a patient. And by me as a patient, I mean me and my family. Yeah. So for us, it was an investment, but it's also us being preventative. And we took it because we know that we're going to use it. And, you know, did we hesitate at the beginning? A little. Was it mainly about finances? Yes, but we made it work, and we made it work with the child allocation.
Experience with someone else in the past, and you didn't get the support that you needed. So it's a little.
But I mean, at the same time, that's why we were hesitating, because we figured, okay, well, we went with someone once. It cost whatever amount it cost, and the follow-up was not great. There was no contact. It was literally both of us, you know, Tom and I adding information in a spreadsheet and then waiting for that person to answer. Really? Is that what we're going to wait for? No. So when you offered me this gem, well, you are sure that I went home after IKEA, and we had a long talk, and we looked at our budget and, okay, well, what can we do to make this work? Because we need it. And we were both aware of it. And, you know, did I ask you more questions? Of course. Did I ask you, you know, to revalidate certain things that we had already spoke about on the phone? Yes. But the minute that we signed the contract, it was just a no-brainer. And the minute that it was signed, I already started using you and your services. Hey, can you look at my latch? Hey, can you tell me if I'm breastfeeding properly? Hey, how do I even know if I should change sides? And this is my second baby, guys. This is my second baby. And that's when you realize, like,
You don't know what you don't know.
No, there's so much and it's constantly changing. I think, and that's the thing. If you're hesitating, it's because deep down, you know that you need it. You do, just like we did. We were hesitating and we were like, okay, you know what? Like, we have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea. And why spend the time on Google for Google to tell you what to do? For someone to
will always tell you something wrong, right? So
like, when you're sick, do you look on WebMD? I really hope not, because they are not going to tell you what you have.
They're going to tell you you have some sort of cancer and you're dying.
Look, I mean, when you need help, you go to the right people, you go to the right places. Well, this is the same thing, except instead of going to 1,001 places and getting help from a lactation consultant, and then a sleep consultant, and then a psychologist, and then a this, and then a that, well, you guess what? You open your BeBaby page, you go into the Village membership, and boom, it's there. It's easy. You need help with, hey, Sam, should we start potty training? My son or my daughter are at this stage. Well, guess what? We have a module coming your way. We got this. You want information on how to start solids because you're not sure where to start? We got this. You want to have information like me on CPR? We got this. Are you looking for information that's not there? Excellent. Let us know and we're going to make it for you. We'll make it happen. And if that doesn't convince you, try it, because I honestly believe that if you're not convinced after this conversation, I mean, guys, it's tax deductible. You have a registered nurse. You guys have an expert panel of doctors, psychologists, osteopaths, pharmacists. You have resident mamas who have 11 kids. You have Sam. You have instant messaging. You have the modules weekly. You have events
a week.
You have multiple sessions a week. You have one-on-one calls. You have one-on-one sessions. You have instant messaging. I had Excel sheets. Excel. Guys, it's a no-brainer.
I think most companies right now are moving away from human connection and human interaction. They're automizing, the pre-recorded online courses are the big thing now. And the people are offering less and less support. And we're doing the opposite as people are moving into like online pre-recorded courses with no support. We're moving into what can we offer more. So we're like instant messaging, 6 in-person Zoom sessions a week, one-on-one office hours every single week, and then personalized, customized one-on-one calls. And so we're moving, in the opposite direction of others. And the reason we're doing that is because we listen to parents that come to us, and we listen to what they've tried before and didn't work, and we make sure that we don't do that. And what they tell us is it's always too short term. There's never enough support. Having access to someone is too difficult. And it's always just looking at one thing, looking at sleep with, just the sleep eyes without looking at everything else. So we made sure to put everything that you need in this one place, but to give you all the customization that you need and all of the support that you need at the click of a finger. So I will invite you all. I will remind you that if you register tonight and you pay in full tonight before midnight, you get 10% off, but you also get access to our Empowered Mom bundle, which will help you elevate your maternity leave to get ready for a return to work that is optimal, that safeguards your family, safeguards your career. We will help you make a change in career if that's what's needed to safeguard your family. And if you want to go back to school, or if you want to start your own darn company, we will help you achieve that and use your maternity leave to do that. And you will get 2 extra one-on-one sessions with me as well on top of your normal sessions. All that included in a very small private group if you register tonight before midnight and you pay in full. And right now until Tuesday at midnight, our prices are reduced. Our monthly membership is very, very low right now. And so it's very easy to purchase. Again, you can put it on your registry and get the whole thing, reimbursed to you. You will also get your tax returns. You can apply it to health accounts. Okay. So a lot of people will get reimbursed by the health accounts, get money through their registry, and then they apply it on their taxes, and then they have enough to pay for next year. So that way you've paid for 2 years ahead of time, which is awesome. And so
if you don't know how to put it on your registry, reach out to us.
it's easy. It's easy.
We'll give you the information. We can help you.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's funny you mentioned empowered mom bundle, but it can be empowered parent bundle, because guess what? Tom did not go back to his old job after his last parental leave.
Yeah, it's true.
He changed jobs. He did a 360. He went from restoration, like being in the restaurant business, and
having not compatible,
which was, not what we needed for our family whatsoever, not what we were looking for, to a Monday to Friday job, no evenings, no weekends, holidays off.
Mm-hmm. And to remind you guys, our monthly program is $4.95 a month. Your parent allocations will cover the vast majority of the cost. You can put it on your baby registry and get even more in there. And you get the tax return as well. And you can put it on a health account. So most of you will be able to not only pay for your whole program, but you will probably get a lot of extra cash in your pocket from the tax return because of this, and because of the registry, and because of all this. So, sometimes people tell us, oh, I don't know, it's a big commitment, it's 12 months, and they end up registering, and then they're like, well, it kind of just paid for itself.
It did.
Paid for itself because, we got the child allocations, we got the tax return, we put it on our registry, and we put it on our health accounts. So not only did it pay for itself, but we ended up with more money and we just put that aside for another year or another project that we've been wanting to do. So oftentimes people worry so much about the money, but then once they're in the program, we help them make sure that they're optimizing their investment, and they end up with more money in their pocket than they did when they were entering.
So be like me and for that from your in-laws, ask, or from your parents.
Yes,
say,
exactly.
You know what? My birthday's coming around, or my husband's birthday's coming around, and do you really need anything that you haven't already bought yourself?
What you need is a village.
What you need is the village. You need this support. You need to you literally just need to say yes to yourself. Mm-hmm. Yes to yourself, yes to your family, and yes to protecting yourself. Because at the end of the day, it does take a village. And Sam is providing that to you. And guess what? It's not anywhere close to being done. The modules keep coming. The knowledges keep coming. You know what? If you say, I don't have time during the week to watch the modules, guess what? They're going to the library.
Listen to it on your way to work whenever you want.
No, it doesn't disappear. It doesn't vanish. So you don't have to worry that there's a time frame to listen to these things. And you know what? Your allocations are probably going to be higher because of COVID. And let's be honest, now more than ever, we need that interaction. We need that human interaction. And it may not be physical because we can't get together yet, but you need that interaction with someone else, and you're getting it here. Mm-hmm. You're getting it almost every day.
So if you guys are watching and you know that you want the program, you know that you need the program, but you're just hesitating because, it's an investment and all these things, I want to tell you not to worry about it, because when people enter our program, we always make sure to work with them to make sure that they can reap the best out of their investment. And the vast majority of the time, not only do they end up being able to pay for their entire program with allocations, with registries, with tax returns, with health accounts, and all these things, because we'll help you, right? If we have to move some of the receipts into your husband's name and your name and all these things to make it work, we make it work. And not only does it pay for your entire program, but most generally, people are able to put money aside for the next year. So, every time somebody's hesitating with money and they end up entering the program, they're like, oh my God, I hesitated all this time. I wasted all this time. And in the end, it paid for itself. And I saved a whole bunch of money because I didn't have to pay $1,500 for, 2 weeks of a sleep consultant that offers me Excel sheet support, or $500 or $400 an hour for a breastfeeding consultant that I have no access to in between, or, another type of parenting consultant, or getting, access to a physician online, which costs a fortune, and this and all that. So you end up saving so much money. And also we work with you to leverage, your mat leave with the Empowered Mom bundle, so that you can, make a pivot in your career and make sure that when you go back to work, you're where you need to be. So we actually help you also make money down the line as well. It's a whole parent incubator. And the point being that becoming a parent is a huge life transformation. Becoming a parent to 2 is an enormous transformation. Becoming a parent to 3 is an enormous transformation. And you can't look at it in only one direction. We need the whole picture. We need all of the support in this one place. And what we do with you in this program is we transform you and your family, so that when you enter and when you exit, you're not the same people. You're a better, stronger, more confident, healthier versions of yourself. So again, if you register, pay in full before midnight tonight, you get the Empowered Mom bundle included for free, and 2 extra one-on-one sessions with me, and our low price on the monthly fee and also on the annual fee is available until Tuesday at the latest, until midnight, and then the price does go up. So take advantage, abuse of it, get the lower price while you can, and stop hesitating. Say yes to yourself. Things, guys, always work out when you're in the Peace of Mind Parenting program.
Invest in yourselves. Invest in the parents that you want to be, that you can be, and make, whether it's your mat leave or not, make this the best year of your life parenting. Make it. Just don't hesitate any longer. There's no point. You'll regret all the time that you did not spend having Sam.
The program. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And thank you so much to everyone who joined us. So if you have not booked your call to discuss the program, book it now. And if you understand and you are convinced and you are ready to go, use the link that Carla and Vanessa have dropped above. Okay, this link here, so that you can go ahead and register right now. And if you want to have a call first to discuss your options, you can use this link right here to book a call with me. Make it fast, because the appointments are booking really, really, really fast. Okay, so I love you all. Have a wonderful evening. I have phone calls to go to.
Yes.